thank you. Let's give it up for Megan and Laura. One of my favorite things to do is read. Any readers here? Anybody in the middle of a really good book right now? Okay, you need to put it away. There's a show on. So I like to read, but I don't have a lot of time to read. So to read a full-length work of fiction for me is novel. I sometimes read noir detective stories while I'm waiting for my egg to be hard-boiled. Mostly I stick to magazines, not every day, just periodically. There was an article in The Atlantic, it was called The Curious Case of Jesus' Wife. And that fascinated me, like it took him 2,000 years to break the story. It was interesting. Did you know that Jesus' wife did not like her father-in-law? The feeling was mutual. God would take Jesus aside and he would say, "Listen, boy chick." I'm Jewish, we invented this whole thing. "Listen, boy chick, I'm glad you found a Jewish girl. But her? Oh, for my sake. Couldn't you let me make you another one? It'll take 2 minutes." But actually, Jesus did love his wife. He really did. He had only one gripe. He would say to her, "Darling, when we make love, do you have to yell out Dad's name?" She had a lot of difficulty with sex at first. She was inexperienced when she got married. That's kind of par for the course if you want to marry Jesus, I guess. So is this room bigger than it seems? Sound takes a lot. Anyway. She was desperately in need of advice from an older woman. But Jesus' mom was no help at all. Yeah, Jesus' wife had a couple of nephews. They used to tease her by calling her Antichrist. Alright, I think I milked that one. You may have noticed, or maybe not, but you may have noticed that my voice is relatively deep for a woman. And there's a reason for that. I'm transgender. So for the first 45 years or so of my life, everybody just assumed I was a guy, and I kind of went along with it. When I was born, the doctor said, "It's a boy." And I said, "Yes, and?" That's called sucking up. I studied electrical engineering, which is kind of a stereotypical male profession. But there's something interesting. Engineers are slightly more likely than the average person to be transgender. I didn't know this, but it's true. And we're way more likely to be terrorists. So if any of you know anybody going into engineering, tell them pick transgender, it's better. So yeah, my degree is double E, and my cup size is double A. You know, they make one smaller than me. So what you see here is 20% big pharmaceutical, 75% structural engineering, and 5% strategically applied bronzer. I had to get that off my chest. When I came out to my mom, she was worried. She had a lot of questions for me. For example, I was installing a ceiling fan for her one time, and she said to me, "So, when you're a girl, are you still going to be able to do stuff like this?" I said, "Yeah, the lobotomy is optional." But, you know, mostly she was worried for my safety, and I can understand that. I'm a parent, and I know how parents worry about their kids' safety. So I tried to reassure her. I said, come on, this is Ottawa, people are cool. Like, what's the worst that could happen? Like, I don't know, like a gang of cannibals setting upon me? So she goes, well, it could happen. I said, no problem. Nobody likes to eat hormone-infused meat. Not to mention trans fats. Yeah, so I'm not really an activist, but I am in the LGBTQ, all the other letters, and I identify as T. And back when I was a bit more of an activist, I started a political party to advance our cause. It was called the Tea Party. Most of our constituents were confused right-wingers. But it never really worked, because all our members kept crossing the floor to join the other side. I don't normally do political jokes, but you know Donald Trump called the president of Taiwan just before he was president. She's a woman, go ladies. The president of Taiwan. But now, actually, thanks to Obama, we know what was said on that conversation. And what he said to her was, so listen, you know, Taiwan, China, you're all the same people, right? You're all Chinese, right? And she said, yeah. He goes, well, I gotta talk to you people, because I heard you guys built a really great wall. I'll cross that one off the list. In addition to stand-up and improv and taking hormones, I like to play the piano, but I'm not very good. The piano is not my forte. I keep forgetting all the sharps and flats, and the thing is, that's the key. Sometimes I play canon in D, and there are a few spots where you have to play C instead of C sharp. And if I get it right, it's accidental naturally. So you can always call the music geeks. I used to play for my colleagues at work, but they would tell me to give it a rest. So I stopped, it was too much trouble. My daughter, on the other hand, she plays drums. She has a couple of friends, each named Tom. I like to give that joke a couple of beats. She tried to snare them into her band, but they wouldn't have it, they were sticks in the mud. So she was upset. So to cheer her up, I bought her a hi-hat for her drum kit as a symbol of my affection. She's a bit too young to date. She's only, well, when I wrote the joke, she was 13. So we'll say she's 13. She's a bit too young to date, but when she does date, I don't want her dating drummers with their bass instincts. Orchestra members are even worse, nothing but sax and violins. Talking of orchestras, I saw this amazing thing on YouTube. It was a bunch of robots playing music. All the robots, like there were all these plastic robots playing the piano and the violin, all the instruments, and there was this like gleaming copper robot leading everything. And it made sense, because copper makes a better conductor. I know playing the piano is not going to make me a lot of dough, but it's a ray of light for me. I went too far, so I'll stop. Thank you very much.